Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, good morning. Today, April 25th, we are celebrating the feast of St. Mark Evangelist. St. Mark is one of the four authors of the Gospels, and he was an associate of St. Paul and disciple of St. Peter. And it's probably from St. Peter that he heard the stories about Jesus, and basically he put on writing Peter's words and accounts. And the Gospel of St. Mark is the shortest of the four Gospels, and it was was used, almost certainly used by St. Matthew and St. Luke in composing their own accounts, their own Gospels. 90% of the Gospel of St. Matthew actually was taken from the material of St. Mark. And today, celebrating the Feast of St. Mark, we are invited to reflect on the gift of unity. Because since St. Mark wrote down the Gospel, probably the decade before year 70 AD, when Jerusalem was destroyed, since the very moment the Church has been preaching the same Gospel, the same message. The message hasn't changed for 2,000 years and will continue to be the same. We received this divine message in the Gospels, in the Church, and the Church has been preaching the same message throughout these centuries. It's something we take sometimes for granted, but something extraordinary. I remember when my first visit to Taiwan, when I first went to Taiwan in 1991, I still remember very clearly the first Mass in Chinese. I had just gotten off from the plane, and we went straight basically to a church. And Mass was in Chinese. I still remember it was the feast of St. Peter, St. Paul. And it was Sunday Mass. I didn't understand a single word, clearly. But I knew what the priest was saying. And when I took the Gospel and I took the Bible and took a look at the readings of the day, so I knew what the readings were. I knew what was going on, even if I couldn't understand a single word. It's because of the unity of the Church. The Church is one body. And there's a beautiful reflection in today's office of readings, part of the Liturgy of the Hours, the priests have to say, a beautiful reflection on St. Irenaeus, a theologian and father of the Church of the 2nd century. Irenaeus says, "The Church founded in Germany believes exactly the same and hands-on exactly the same as do the Spanish and Celtic churches, and the ones in the East, in Egypt, in Libya, and Jerusalem. It's the same message, the same beliefs, the same creed. And so we are one body. We have received the same message. We are invited to spread, to preach the same message, the message of the Gospel, the message of the good news of Jesus Christ. Take care and God bless."